I feel it burn. I've never felt this way before. I've had a taste, now I want more. So here we are, just you and me. I'm overwhelmed when you touch me. You talk so sweet, I hear the sound. 'Cause when you do, my feet won't touch the ground.
When you do nothing, nothing happens. Best time to take action is now.
This is the time to work on you and your business.
So I've created a group,
An online academy for professionals and entrepreneurs. Power Partners will help you
to start helping yourself.
Helped me change my life and my business.
Not a Toastmasters, it's not a BNI, it's not any of these, but it is. So it's all this stuff in one place.
Get the results that you deserve right now. So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
see you in Power Partners.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Doing Profit with Principles. Ladies, if I could ask you to turn off your sound for just a moment. We're getting a little echo, and then we'll open back up in just a moment here. So welcome. Good morning to Pursuing Profit with Principles. So excited to have you join us this morning. And as usual, on the first Monday of the month, I am joined by an amazing group of women entrepreneurs who are part of a mastermind that we've all been in for a couple of years now at least. And we meet once a month, and this first meeting or this first show of every month, we share with you some things we've learned along the way. So I would like to introduce you to my panel this morning. And I'm actually just going to tell you who they are, and then they're going to tell you more about who they are and what they do. So let's start to my right on the screen here with Barbara Ellison. Barb, good morning. Please introduce yourself and who you are and what you do.
Well, good morning, everybody. Yes, I'm Barbara Ellison. I am the founder of the Wellness Playroom, because wellness is about so much more than just not being sick. It's about having wellness in our relationships and in our physical body and in our finances. So that's what I help people to do.
Awesome. Thank you, Barb. Great to have you here this morning.
Thanks.
Miss Sandy, Sandy Lynch, would you introduce yourself, please? Oops, Sandy, we need your sound.
There, how's that?
There we go. That's
Good
great.
morning. Good morning, ladies. My name is Sandy Lynch. I'm in Southern California. I am a recovering senior citizen, professional bookkeeper, serial entrepreneur. I am a hustlerpreneur. Plus, the government wants a recovering title federal felon, but I'm recovering in all of those things. So I help hustlerpreneurs and do-it-yourselfers bootstrap their way to financial success.
Awesome. Thank you, Sandy. Welcome. Miss Carol Henderson. Carol, would you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Carol Henderson, and I have Life by Design, and I help people to make the second half of their life better than the first, because you don't have to get sick and old and tired to live out your life. And that's just my passion, to help people find better ways, more natural ways to be healthy and look, feel, and live better.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Miss Shawn Morris. Shawn, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Shawn. I run two businesses. I've been a nutritionist for 7 years, and I've been in publishing for over 30. I help people to reclaim their health and I also run a publishing company full time.
Wow, that's a lot. Most of us struggle to run one business well.
Exactly.
Thank you, Sean. And Miss Sherry Knight.
Good morning, Sherry Knight from Dimension 11, and I am here in Canada, sort of one of the off people here. Everybody else is from the States, but entrepreneurs, they hire me because they need to wake up, because most entrepreneurs, they miss all those opportunities that they can get. They lack the systems to put things in place so they can get there easily, and they're in a rut with their businesses because it's causing them just too much pain. And so I help them flourish by increasing their time, their money, and their energy. Bottom line to this, grow your business and grow yourself.
Love it. Ladies, awesome. You can see why I love interacting with these talented women and the work that they're doing in the world and the difference that they're making. And so we've chosen a topic this morning. Actually, there's no mouse in my pocket. I've chosen a topic this morning for us to talk about, which has to do with habits. And habits can either be our best friend or our worst enemy. And so we're going to talk about habits this morning and how they impact our personal and professional lives, what we can do to create those best friends and get rid of the worst enemies. But I want to set the stage for just a moment. One of the books that I've been reading, and this is a really quick read, folks, Habits Die Hard, 10 Steps to Building Successful Habits. A great little read, and it is a workbook as well as giving you information. In each of those steps, there's some steps for you to take, a little workbook type of thing. So, but there are two quotes I want to share with you in the book. Habits have been something that have been being discussed for centuries. Aristotle, there's a quote from Aristotle that the book starts with that says, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And so sometimes we don't realize, how important those habits are that we create, and that no excellence can be created without creating the habit. The book ends with near the end, there is a quote from 1940. And this was from Albert E. Gray. And he said, "Every single qualification for success is acquired through habit. People form habits and habits form futures. Successful people form the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do." So we've been talking about habits for a long time, haven't we? From Aristotle to today, and probably even before Aristotle. So let's dive in here and let's just have us a lively discussion about habits, how you've seen them work for you in your life or against you, what you've done to eliminate those that didn't serve you well, and how you've created habits that do serve you well, and any advice that you would like to give to folks about habits. Barb Ellison, I saw you nodding your head. Did you have a thought there that you'd like to share?
Exactly what you just said. Habits rule us. And one of the things, a quick little aside, I've just finished taking a course on positive intelligence. And one of the things that they talk about is like that we have the saboteurs, and then we have we all have the voices in our head. So one of my voices in my head is called an avoider. And if I avoid something long enough, go away.
Right.
Well, it doesn't work. So I'm going to tell myself, like Carol this morning, one of the things that I do not like to do is open mail or email
Yeah.
So consequently, it got so bad that I had avoided it for so long but then of course it would pile up on my desk and it would get to the point, "Ooh, Barbara, I can't stand looking at this." So I would put it in a bag and put it in a drawer. Okay. So this is the height of avoiding. Well, now it was taking this course. It was, "Barb, for heaven's sakes, your avoider is doing this, not you. This is not who you want to be." This is not the
Right.
kind of person that you want to be. So you are going to now get into the habit of, when I get my email, and sometimes my grandchildren just bring it up to my room for me and throw it under my door. Okay, fine. But I'm going to open it. You know? So I had to start with the 2 bags of mail I already had to sort it out. Well, guess what? In one of the bags of one of the bags of mail, physical mail, I found a check dated from March.
Oh dear.
Carol looked at me this morning and said, "And was it a big check?" I went, "Oh yeah, over $1,000."
Oh my goodness.
In my
And it
mail.
was sitting in a stack,
Sitting in
a bag, in a drawer.
It makes everybody want to go hunt through their mail.
Yeah, really.
So it was like, oh, Barbara, and the thing that I realized because of this course that I'm taking, that's just a habit, a bad habit.
Bad habit
of not doing. So now, right at this moment, I can honestly say on my desk, there is, I think, 2 or 3 pieces of unopened mail that came last night that I haven't looked at yet this morning. But as soon as we're off this call, guess what I'm going to be doing?
Yes, you're going to handle that.
Getting into that habit. And that's all it is.
It is.
Oh, yeah, for heaven's sakes, Barbara. It's a habit. Now it's kind of like brushing your teeth. Do you go without brushing your teeth? No, it's because it's a habit. Well, for me now, opening my mail is now becoming a habit.
A habit. But you have to do it over and over again to create that habit.
And I still struggle with it. I look at it and go, oh. And it's that mental. Now I am turning it around to a positive that, hey, there might be a peck in here.
Yeah.
Because heaven forbid if I hadn't cashed that check.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because they're usually only good for a certain period of time. And
I was thinking that too.
So one of the things that's really important about what you talked about there is you're focused on the new habit.
Mm-hmm.
If we just focus on the old habit that didn't serve us, we just add strength to it. And it serves us even less, right? And so the focus has to get switched over to the new habit, right?
But I think you have to take something there and recognize what the habit was that's not giving you what you want. And that's even before changing that habit. You've got to recognize, and Barb recognized that the old habit, pardon me, wasn't working, and so therefore made a decision to move to the new habit. And I think that's critical. And I think I cut Carol off. Sorry, Carol.
No, I hadn't even started.
Go ahead, Carol, and thank you, Sherry, for that.
Yes. And what I was going to say, your thoughts become your words, and they also become your habits. And so whether it's negative or positive, and you just can't think about a bad habit, like you're saying, focus on it, but you can't think your way. You can't pray your way. You can't, hope your way out of it. You have to make the choice to make the change. And one of the things is your words that really, I used to be a mail avoider, but I'm not anymore, or something on that order. And you don't, it's just like when people talk about I have this anger issue. Well, no, that's your choice. It's a choice. It is a habit. It is, you're letting your buttons, but you can fight that. And you say, I'm overcoming my anger issue. I'm overcoming, whatever, because you need to speak it. Y'all have all heard me say the whole world was spoken into existence. So words are so much more important than we realize. And that old thing from when we were kids about sticks and stones can break my bones and words can never hurt me is a lie, is a lie, is a lie. Words are so important. And so what you speak to yourself, you believe, I believe what I say to me more than I do what Regina or Barbara or Sandy or Sean or Lordy, I'm drawing a blank. Sorry. It's a then Regina.
Picking up on what you're saying there, Carol, it's so true, but we do have to be cautious about the negative words, because understand that the brain takes longer for us to digest a negative word than it does a positive one. So if I say, I'm not going to eat cake today, what my brain hears is I'm going to eat cake today.
Exactly.
Get rid of those negative words entirely from our comments in terms of what it is that we're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree.
Focus on the positive aspects. Absolutely. Absolutely.
There was a song years ago. We watched Hee Haw, and there was a song that I used to sing, and then I was cautioned to stop, and it was, ooh, despair and agony on in deep dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I have no luck at all. Ooh, despair. I used to sing it all the time, and somebody said, "Stop it!
Stop
You've got
it!"
to change your life."
It was a fun song, but it didn't serve you.
It didn't, because now you have to sing other more joyful songs, and you don't have that ooh despair.
Yeah,
exactly.
One of the ideas I took away from this book in terms of helping you create that habit was to take a year-long calendar, or maybe it's only a month-long calendar, but every day that you do that new positive habit, you put a big red X on that day. You hang this calendar up in your wherever you're at most of the time, and put that big red X on that day every time you do it. What's that going to show you? Every time you did not do it, right? And you're going to be inspired to want more of those big red X's. And it's like, I can't go to bed yet. I've got to do this today.
That's true. Might be a good idea to change the X to a green check mark, because
that would be a great idea. Yes,
I totally agree. Go back to school, and school was when we got red X's for what we did wrong.
Wrong. Yeah, good point.
I totally agree. When she said the X, I thought the same thing,
Yeah,
but I like the green check mark. Yeah, because
that's part of the Simpleology system. If Simpleology.com is how I got my habits under control, how I learned to structure my day. I went through it and got my black belt in it, and it really, really helps. And you can do the first part of the program is free, and then you can decide whether you want to go on. But it really makes a huge difference in how you move forward in your day, because you start with, they assume that you've got the worst habits possible, so now we're going to start rebuilding you. And, you learn to do a brain dump before you go to bed and get everything out of your head, so that in the morning you're starting fresh, but you already know what needs to be done, and you've made that in your brain dump the night before. So you prioritize first thing in the morning. And for me, everything has to be in my calendar, and then I use the scheduled app that pops up every single task I have to do that day, when I need to do it. And then I can check it off as it's coming through, but it only gives me one task at a time. So you don't get overwhelmed. You don't have to look at that really full calendar and go, oh my gosh, how am I going to fit all this in? It just gives you one task. Okay, now it's time to make a phone call to your client. Okay, I've done that, and then it gives you your next task. All right, you're running a business, you're running your family. Well, okay, now you've got to go put the laundry on, and then do that. Your next task is to sit and edit for 45 minutes. And, you only get the one task at a time. You focus on the one task, but you get everything done because it's all laid out and all scheduled. And it's really important to have a schedule. If you're just winging it every day, you're not going to be as productive as you think you are. You really need to be very scheduled. It's the only way I could run two businesses is to have my schedule very set and set in advance.
Yes, I like that. Go ahead,
One of
Sharon.
the things that I do, which is probably a takeoff on what Sean's talking on, I have one statement, one question that I ask myself every time I have a moment, and that is, what's the best use of my time right now? So if I have 3 minutes, where at one time when I had 3 minutes, I go, well, I can't do anything in 3 minutes. Whereas now it's okay, what can I do in 3 minutes?
Yeah.
And that might be, well, get a heading for a chapter, or make sure that I've got a paragraph written, or whatever. I make use of all of that day, every ounce of that day, with that one single question. What's the best use of my time right now?
Very good. Very good. One of the things too, if you are someone who has people booking on your calendar, you have your calendar link out there and people can book on your calendar, you want to make sure that you block off some time on your calendar that people cannot book, so that that's that time for you to do those internal things that you need to do. You know, because otherwise they can get lost and suddenly you're behind, and we've got 2 bags of mail, right? It's
One thing that I feel is tremendously valuable, and I see a difference, a marked difference when I do and when I don't do it. And truthfully, at this point in my life, it's rare that I don't do it. But it's to start my day with a quiet time and with prayer and with, being able to just ground and center myself. And I do my lists. I don't do it on an app like Sean was saying, because in my life that doesn't work, of it just giving me one thing. I'll make the list, and if I'm going to town, I'll even put them in order, where I have to go, because of distance and time and gas, but also to pick the top 3. These are the ones that really, really need to be done. But we have a homestead, and so people do book on my calendar. And if it's a Zoom call, you can't come in from the field with your ball cap on and a t-shirt and dirt across your face to meet a new client. And so, you have to book those times out. But on a homestead, it's not always the same thing. I mean, if there's a predator, you have to go out and deal with it, or something like that, or and then also I still have a husband, thank God. Long story there, but and when he says, okay, we need to do this now, it's like everything gets dropped to go do that. And
you have to have flexibility.
Yes, I have to have a lot of flexibility, and sometimes people don't, in classes, they don't understand the grace for that. But I do. I'll start the day and I'm going, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do today? What am I supposed to do today? And I take some time at it. And so when I have an early call, I have to get up, a couple hours. It doesn't take me that long to get ready, but it takes me that long to get ready to because it hit me early on with Zoom. It's like, this is no different than if I was walking out my door and into a corporate boardroom. This is public. This is out there. So I have to take the same road to get here every day. Yeah. And that's important.
It absolutely is. Ladies, this time has gone so fast. We have about a minute left of our time. Sherry.
A last word for everybody. There's been a study done on leaders, and leaders make decisions within 30 seconds. And so from a habit perspective, if we can all get into that realm of making a quick decision, right or wrong, make the decision and go forward from there. My last words.
Fantastic. Great last words for us. Folks, we appreciate you joining us today. Ladies, I appreciate you being here and adding your wisdom to this discussion. It truly blesses me, and I'm sure it blesses others as well. Those of you who are watching, if you found this to be valuable, please come back, see us again. There will be information anywhere you found this. There should be information on how, where you can watch it every week. So we're here. I'm here at 8 o'clock on Monday mornings, Central Standard Time, with Pursuing Profit with Principles. Bye for now and have a wonderful week.
Friday, everyone. Your real worth isn't defined by your net worth. What makes you valuable is how you use what you have been given. All of us have gifts. Make sure you're making the most of yours. Have an amazing Friday.
It is now the bottom of the hour. I'm excited to welcome Nancy Matthews to our program today. Nancy is an author of a book. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it in the carousel for you guys. There it is, The One Philosophy. I want to talk to Nancy not only about the re-release of the book, but also what it's been like for her to share the message with all of you guys. Nancy, great to have you on with us.
Hello, hello, hello. So happy to be here.
If you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with WendyY Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, WendyY Bailey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this bonus episode of the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with WendyY Bailey. Yes, I'm indeed WendyY Bailey, and I'm excited to be here to share with you a really cool topic. Did I create a banner for the topic? Let's see. Yes, I did. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to maintain a consistent flow of coaching clients. I know some of you are really eager to see this topic, and I'm really excited to share with you. I have a philosophy about maintaining a consistent flow of coaching clients. So I'm sharing with you my philosophy. I'm sharing with you my strategy. I think you're going to get a lot from this. If you're watching me on on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on YouTube, the replay will be available. Let me know that you're watching. Share a hi in the comments, or if you're watching the replay, go ahead and type hashtag replay to let me know that you were here. I'm broadcasting simultaneously on my Facebook profile, my Facebook page, 2 of my Facebook groups, and on LinkedIn. I'll be uploading the replay on YouTube later.
So let me tell you a little bit about myself again, reintroduce myself. I'm Wendy Y. Bailey. I'm a 19-year veteran business and sales coach, and I show coaches how to master business. That means we talk about infrastructure, which includes processes and systems and tools. We talk about marketing, which includes visibility strategies and non-traditional launch strategies so that you can launch in a way that's authentic to you. And we also talk about sales conversations that convert to cash. That's one-to-one sales conversations, as well as one-to-many, speaking from the stage, and it includes promotional copy as well as email marketing. So that's sort of the breadth of what I do. But today's topic is really one of those evangelical topics that I talk about to almost all of my clients. And it's really about, again, how to maintain a consistent flow of coaching clients. And it starts very simply. You know, if you're taking notes, it starts very simply with what you know about your most ideal client. I call it ideal client clarity. And sometimes I say in the power of one, right? Ideal client clarity means that you have such a vivid and clear picture of who your ideal client is, you almost can spot your ideal client at a networking event. You can hear your ideal client speaking when you're on Clubhouse. You see their posts. They talk about things on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, and you know because you have that clarity that they're your ideal client. There's some key factors around your ideal client that you need to know. You need to know gender, okay? When you think of your ideal client, there's no such thing as fear of missing out when you declare a gender. If you declare women as your primary client, it means that women see you, women know you, women hear you talking to them, the language you're speaking resonates. Women, or men, if you're talking to men, the language you use for men is different than the language you use for women. That's why it's important for you to declare a gender. The second thing you want to focus on is an age range, and make sure your age range spans no more than 10 years, because the way you talk to a 30-year-old is different than the way you talk to a 50-year-old. I get really frustrated with clients who say to me, oh, I work with anyone, 30 and up. Where they're words that you cannot use when you have ideal client clarity. Someone, anyone, somebody, everybody, all, they, or them. When you're focused on your one ideal client, that age range keeps you from the fear of missing out. Okay, 10 years. So is it 30 to 40, or is it 35 to 45, or is it 45 to 55? Because the way you speak in those age groups are different. So you need to declare. And here's what I want to say about the fear of missing out. If you're afraid of missing out and you feel like declaring a gender, declaring an age is going to keep you from speaking to, connecting with, getting your reach to your most ideal clients, that's the farthest thing from the truth. The more clear you are, the more focused your marketing efforts will be, and your message will be, and your ideal clients can self-select themselves into your service, okay? The more vague you are, the harder it is for people to know that you mean them. The harder it is for them to see and understand your message is meant for them. So fear of missing out does not come into play. I want you to scratch that from your mind and never think of it again. Ideal client clarity is the way to go. Declare a gender, declare a 10-year age span. And the third thing I'm going to say is make sure you know what kind of money the ideal client makes. If it's an individual, know what kind of salary. If it's a profession, know what kind of range for that career is. You may not be exactly on target, but that helps you to set fees for your program services and products that are meaningful to your most ideal client. It helps you establish your fees based on the value you're able to give and what that ideal client has the ability to pay. And your ideal client is always, always, always ready, willing, and able to invest in themselves by hiring you. So Gender, declare it, yes. Age range, no more than 10 years. And then salary, be very, very clear about the salary of your ideal client. The other two things I want to talk about are really connected to the second thing about ideal client clarity. When you understand the problem your ideal client is facing and just focus on one at a time, you may be able to solve a slew of ideal clients problems, but focus on one at a time. Then build a solution or a program or a boot camp or a webinar that resolves that problem that your ideal client is facing. Remember, one problem and one solution. One problem and one solution. So recognize that one problem, okay, when you talk about that one problem, you can really get into a lot of details if you're focused on why it's happening. Why does the client not have the ability to solve the problem on her own, right? Ask yourselves what's happening and what do you see as the circumstance or the situation that's causing the problem, right? Then you can build a comprehensive solution that really addresses that particular problem specifically. And here's the really cool thing. The more problems that you are able to solve with your programs for your most ideal client, the easier it is to carve out a nice niche for yourself. Still serving the same ideal client, but you're the go-to whenever she has problems or whenever he's faced with something that's a problem that you have the ability to help them solve. Okay. And the more definition you have around the problem, that means how is it showing up? What's the pain that it's causing for the client? What is the client not able to do because of this problem? What is the client, not able to accomplish because of this problem, right? Is making sure you know how that client is dealing with that problem. People call those pain points, right? I want you to look at it as the situation and the circumstance. At the core of that is why the problem is happening. Why hasn't the client been able to solve it on her own? Why hasn't she been able to address it? So once you know your ideal client really, really well, you get to create a solution to the problem. Then you get to focus your solution on the transformation or the change your ideal client seeks. So as you're building your solution, that means your program, your service, your product, your offering, whatever it is, it means that you are really paying attention to how is this going to change the ideal client's world? Maybe it's her career. Maybe it's her job. Maybe it's her family. Maybe it's her relationships. Maybe it's her business. When you are clear about that change that your ideal client is seeking, then you can start to craft a lot of the depth in your program, in your solution. Okay. That's how you really create transformation. Then you can actually talk about the transformation with your ideal client to your ideal client in your sales copy, in your email marketing, in your social media post, in your videos, in your blogging. You can talk about it in ways that your ideal client hears and understands and connects to. So the next 5 areas are really about focusing on your ideal client. This is how you keep a steady flow of ideal clients. First, you got to know who your ideal client is. You got to understand the problem and the solution you offer. Then you've got to be able to recognize and language the transformation. Now we're going to get into what's going to help you maintain a steady flow. These next 5 areas will help you to do that. Practice. The first one is practice what I call ideal client attraction. Ideal client attraction means that you're not posting anywhere and everywhere across social media because that's what you think you're supposed to do. It means that with the clarity you have about your ideal client, now you can actually go to the platforms and invest the time and energy on the platforms where you're going to get the most traction. Okay. For a long time, I wasn't on Clubhouse. On Instagram. I was on Instagram, but I was posting whatever I wanted to. I posted pictures of food. I posted political stuff. For a long time, I just wasn't really doing anything. I stayed connected to my son. Hey, Carlos. Hey, Donetta. Good to see you guys. I I see other LinkedIn users. Hey, Liz, great. Glad to see you guys here. I just came over there and saw you. I was like, hey, glad to see you guys. So, for a long time, I wasn't on Instagram. I used Instagram to share reels and photos and posts and everything with my son. He's 31 years old. That's a platform that is made for that millennial group primarily, until Clubhouse came, and Clubhouse has been connected to Instagram, right? Clubhouse is where my ideal clients are. And I've been talking a lot with my ideal clients on Clubhouse. So what I had to go back and do is scrub my Instagram profile, right? What I mean is I archived some of the food photos, some of the things that were political in nature. I archived those posts. And then I got my team on a regular rotation of posting high value content related to what I do to serve my most ideal clients. You need to look at the platforms that you are posting on, where you're spending your time, and ask yourself, if I look at the demographics of my ideal client, that's what the ideal client clarity is about. If I start paying attention to and go look up the demographics for each social media platform, where is the right place in the right space for me to connect with my most ideal client? And I don't suggest that you post everywhere. Like some people are like, oh, they post on Instagram, they post on Facebook, they post on LinkedIn, they post on YouTube. I say select the top 2 platforms based on the demographics of your ideal client and the demographics of the platform. I did a whole series for those Academy members who are watching. I did a whole live video training on making sure you're posting and you're connecting with your most ideal clients on the right platforms. It gives you the demographics of each one. I even covered Reddit and Pinterest as platforms that you can look at. It's not just the ones that you think. Yeah, I have fun on Facebook, and you know why? On Facebook, I have 2 private Facebook communities there. So I'm on Facebook because of that. I'm also on Facebook because I enjoy the fun part of being on Facebook. So I'm posting, food, I'm posting jokes, I'm posting stuff for engagement. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But pick the platforms that work for you. Pick the platforms that are where you were most likely to be in the right place and space to connect with your most ideal clients. That's what I mean by client attraction. It's not about finding your ideal clients. It's about being attractive so that they see you as a beacon and they want to know more from you. They want to learn more about what you offer. I've just recently got a new Academy member, and she was like, oh, this person told me I need to work with you. And I was like, okay. And I knew the person she mentioned. Then she said, oh, and another person told me, I don't remember who it was. They told me I needed to work with you too. I don't know who the other person was because she didn't remember. But here's the thing. This is someone who's been on my mailing list, I know, at least 5 years. But it took somebody telling her about me for her to actually work with me and to be interested and eager in working with me. But I had laid all the foundation before that. So when they told her, it was like a second experience, somebody recommending, and it highlighted for her what I could do and how I could support and serve her. So she really started checking me out. That's how your client attraction will work. Your clients will see you. Other people will see you and say, oh, you need to work with this person. Even in the comments, I just noticed Carlos. Hey, Yvonne, I just noticed Carlos actually tagged somebody that he thinks can benefit from this message. That's client attraction. So practice client attraction is the first thing you need to do. The next thing you need to do is to practice client engagement. Don't just push post. Ask questions, invite opportunities for people to respond, react to your post. If you're not blogging, please start blogging. Please start blogging. Blogging is a place for you on your home territory to actually showcase your expertise, to share your perspective, to share your thoughts about whatever's going on in your business around with your ideal client, to really share from a place of, wow, I really know what I'm talking about. but your blog is permanent residence versus your social media, which is temporary residence. I've heard so many horror stories over the years of people who lost whole pages or whole groups because Facebook shut them down for some reason. And sometimes they weren't able to regain it. I know someone whose profile was shut down on Instagram. He's been able to rebuild his platform to like 16,000 since May. So you can lose your platform on the temporary residences, but you can't lose your website. So make sure you're blogging. If and Liz, I know you're here, so I'm saying this for you. If you're a visual learner, right? If your wares are visual in nature, Liz is an image stylist and consultant. All of your blog posts need to be videos, okay? All of your blog posts need to be visual, so photos, pictures of outfits or styles that you've done and examples of clients that you have styled. Those are the kind of things that will help. Then in between that, if you want to blog about something else, you can post again a video, or you can post here are 3 things that I tell my clients that will help them with their style, with their image. Just an idea for you, Liz, in terms of blogging. But I don't say it enough, and I just wanted to say you got to blog. Engagement really looks like, how are people coming and consuming your content? How are people, reading what you're writing? Are they reacting to it? Facebook and LinkedIn and even Instagram have made it easy for people to react, right? The other thing about reaction, you want engagement in a way that you ask a question every now and then, right? I've seen some top influencers on Instagram specifically say, here's my thought. If you believe it, type amen in the comments, right? Or hit the heart or double tap this photo. Create some kind of engagement around the content that you're sharing. And it needs to be content that's specifically around how you can support and serve your most ideal client. The next step is to really practice ideal client enrollment. It's great to practice creating social media posts and doing that. But if you don't extend an opportunity for a client to work with you, you're missing out. You're leaving money on the table. So you need to be sure that not every post, not every day, every week, every month, but you need to pretty consistently make offers. It means you're inviting clients to work with you. It means that clients are, hey, Dee Bowden. Hey, Barbara Beckley. Great to see you, Yvonne. Awesome. Yvonne says, I'm on Facebook because a large part of my market is there. Yeah, my favorite platform is LinkedIn. Excellent. Danetta says, my ideal clients are on Clubhouse, to IG, and to LinkedIn. Yeah, absolutely. I just started using polls on LinkedIn. Yeah, they're creating stuff to help you with engagement. So definitely take the opportunity to invite people to work with you. You got to do it. You got to do it. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but the more you make an offer, the more you invite people, the easier it gets. And the more clients are going to know that you're available to do business. So client enrollment is something you must practice. The next one is you've got to practice what I call ideal client retention. It costs so much to actually onboard a new client. It costs less than that to actually keep a client and move the client to another service that you offer, or renew the client's work with you on that same service. Think about how you're going to retain your clients when you get the client, not, when it's time for them to renew, not when, it's they just stop working with you. Make sure you're focused on understanding what it's going to take to retain that client. Okay. Sometimes it's, again, moving them to another program. Sometimes it's keeping them, renewing them in the same program. It's also about making sure about halfway through serving the client, you ask, you say, here's some things coming up. We've only got so many more sessions left. Your membership is about to expire in 3 months, and I want to make sure I check with you to see how things are going. You want to check before then, but your reason for asking those kinds of questions is about retention. It's like, where do we go from here? You've expressed a couple of problems, and I'm ready to solve the next problem. I'm ready to help you with the next thing that happens. The last one I want to talk about is ideal client service. My hashtag to my tribe is world-class service. It's because I always want my clients saying, wow, this is amazing. I'm so glad I'm working with her because of the service that I get. I'm so glad that, I'm part of WendyY's tribe because of how she treats her tribe. I treat my tribe, people who are not paying me, well too. But as a client, I want my clients going, wow, when they think what could have been done better or different, they don't have to think so hard because I've already done it. So there's a standard of excellence when I think about world class. It means people recognize all over globally that your brand is at a higher standard of excellence, operates at a higher standard of excellence than other brands. That's why it's world-class service. I'm always going to give you a higher standard of excellence than anyone else in the coaching industry. It's because I think about how I want to be treated, and that's how I treat my clients as well. So client service, ideal client service, is something you can practice by asking yourself, how can I make this better? How can I make the access to me better for the client, right? How can I answer questions? What questions can I answer that will help the client? You're always trying to improve. And the one that I remember, the one that I always remember is Disneyland. Disney's job in terms of their mantra of providing service is to create magical moments for their clients, their customers, the people who come to the theme park, the people who go to their website to order tickets. That is their motto, is to create magical moments, right? So those magical moments add up for customers who go to their website, for customers who, connect with them. Those magical moments for them add up to creating a magical experience for people who support Disney, right? Who go to Disney, who book tickets for Disney, et cetera, et cetera. You want something similar to be true of the service that you provide to your clients. And think of it, across the board. When they come into the business, when they're in the business, when they're leaving the business, after they've left the business, how do you really support your clients with stellar service? That's really, really important when you think of that. The more you support your most ideal clients with stellar service, the more your clients are going to be ready to, client retention is huge. Thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate that. So the more you have stellar service with your clients before, during, and after you're serving the client, the more likely they are to return. Okay. The last two things I'm going to say is, the first is, make sure you deliver the transformation you promised. And you do that when you create the solution, which is your program, your boot camp, your event, whatever it is. When you're looking at your solution, you're asking yourself, how do I respond to the transformation the client has expressed? Okay. The example for me is, when I'm talking to my ideal clients and I'm going through all of those 5 pieces that I just talked about, I'm always going, they told me the transformation they want is they want to be able to convert more clients. They want to be able to maintain a full pipeline of clients. They want a steady flow of clients, right? And based on that steady flow of clients, how do I get them there? What can I say in my lives? What can I say on my bonus episodes? What can I write on my blog? What can I share in video? What can I create in terms of a new ebook that will help them? All of those things help me to be able to create the transformation, deliver the transformation my ideal clients seek. I want you to be asking the same question. First of all, you need to know what the transformation is, right? Because you've done that in the first two that I gave you. And now that you know what it is and you've been practicing these ideal client tenets, now it's time to say, how do I deliver the transformation? What can I do? What can I say? What can help my clients achieve the transformation they're seeking? And that makes a really robust program, ebook, service, boot camp, webinar. It makes all of that possible. It makes all of that possible. And then finally, and this is where a lot of people miss out, every single day, focus on income producing activities only. Focus on income producing activities only. Okay. That means that you're focused on consistent actions that are about moving your business forward and boosting your bottom line profits. You're focused on those things that are going to bring you money. I did a coaching session yesterday with a client, and I had noticed when I started working with her that she was always really busy. Like she had a lot of things going on. She had this call, she had that call, she had the other thing. And I said to her, you don't need to tell me what they are, but let's say you've got 5 things that you're involved in right now. She said, okay. And I said, how many of those are producing income for you right now? And she said 2. I said, okay. And the other 3, are they producing income for you within the next 90 days, 60 to 90 days? And she said, no. And I said, you need to cut back on those activities. Sometimes it's as simple as changing your choices about what you get involved in, right? Sometimes it's about what you do every single day in your business. It is so less important for you to be posting on social media. That is a non-income producing activity. I know I stepped on some toes with that one, and I'm okay. It's less important for you to post on social media and more important for you to be focused on income producing activities. Income producing activities are speaking. So, go open a room on Clubhouse around a topic related to your ideal client's problem. Start talking about the solutions that you're aware of. That is an income producing activity. Be sure that you practice client enrollment. And when you practice client enrollment, that means that while you're doing your room on Clubhouse, you're also extending an invitation to your clients to work with you. It may be a free challenge for now, but in your free challenge, you're going to extend an invitation to them to actually join something that they pay for. Okay. But it is an income producing activity. Go do an IG live if that's where your clients are. Go do a LinkedIn live. Make sure that you're engaging. Anytime you are speaking and sharing your expertise, it is an income producing activity. Instead of posting, go live. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, you can go live on all of those platforms. Okay. Make sure you're on the right platform before you just decide to go live, but go live. That is an income producing activity. It carries far more weight for you than posting some static post on those platforms. I know I stepped on y'all's toes. It's okay because I want to. Other income producing activities include writing content for clients. Okay. If you're creating a program, I'm a build a plane as you fly girl. Everybody who's been around me knows that's what I do. I talk about building the plane as you fly it. And what I mean by that is make sure that your content, your concept, your program is something that your clients will actually buy and enroll in before you build it all out. Okay. And the reality is if you create a skeleton outline, you sell the program, and then you start delivering the program, you're going to find that there's a need for some tweaks in the content because the client is there giving you the feedback. The client is there telling you what to do. So don't put your head down over days, weeks, and months, creating content. Stop that. Create the skeleton outline of your program, sell it, and then build the program, then record your videos, then write whatever you need to. But don't go and build out the whole thing before you know if your ideal client is really going to buy it. That's wasted time. That's non-income producing. When you're working on client work, you're doing for a client or you're creating content for a client, just remember that, your input from the client is necessary for you to really get it looking like it does. I found that I have to deliver content at least 3 times before I really understand how I want to shift it and make it really polished. At least 3 times. At least 3 times. And it's because of my build the plane as I fly it philosophy of creating content for clients. If you are training your team, it is an income producing activity, because once they're trained, they're going to take a lot off your plate, and it's going to create productivity in your business and more efficiency and effectiveness, because then you'll be focused on the right things. Every single day, make sure that you're focused on income producing activities and you stay away from non-income producing activities. All 5 of those things are income producing activities: client attraction, client engagement, client enrollment, client retention, and client service. All of those are income producing activities. Non-income producing activities are taking selfies, reading your email every 2 minutes, or when your phone chimes. Turn those bells off, turn those notifications off. You don't need to look at it. Look at your emails twice a day. Read your social media posts a couple of times a day. Don't go to Facebook 12 times a day. You're wasting time, okay? And if you talk to me and I'm your coach and I find out that's what you're doing, you're going to stop it. Because I'm going to tell you that's not productive for you. It's not creating income for you. Danetta says, every day I find out writing down my activities allow me to see the big picture to stay focused. Yeah. And Barbara says, build the plane as you go. Awesome. Yeah. And I know you live a lot of that as well. Another LinkedIn user says, go live before you post. Yeah. Don't post, go live. I hope this has been helpful for you. I've given you a 10-step strategy for how you can actually maintain a consistent flow of ideal clients. And when I say ideal clients, I'm talking about the people who are your people, the people who are looking for you, the people who have the problem and they know you offer the solution. When you are focused on your ideal clients, your right people, and you follow these steps, you're going to find that you have a consistent flow of coaching clients, because what you can do is you can direct people to where things are. I teach a whole nother program and course around setting pricing and creating predictable monthly coaching income that's tied directly to maintaining this flow as well. When you have this flow going, you can point to your predictable monthly coaching income plan. And based on that, it can spell profitability for you in a huge, huge way. I'm WendyY Bailey, and if you've missed any part of this, you can catch the replay. The replay for all of the episodes are at profitablecoachingconversations.com. That's profitablecoachingconversations.com. This replay should be up tomorrow. It should be up tomorrow. And if for some reason you have missed it, I would love for you to be in the Profitable Coaching Club. Go to profitablecoachingclub.com. That's my club on Clubhouse. You can also become part of the society. So join the Profitable Coaching Society at profitablecoachingsociety.com. Let me just check and see if there are any questions or any comments. Remember, if you're watching the replay, to be sure that you type #replay, post your questions, and I will be checking back across the platforms. Thank you, lady. You always give the best information. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you. Excellent reminders for me. Excellent, excellent. I'm so glad this was beneficial to you guys. I will see you for another bonus episode next Thursday in the 2 p.m. Eastern hour. So mark your calendar. And if you want to vote on the next topic, go to profitablecoachingsociety.com. That's my private Facebook community, so that you can vote on the topic. My tribe gets to choose what we talk about. I'll see you next time for another great episode. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with WendyY Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from WendyY and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.